I've put up a point about hygiene factors. So what you guys have just mentioned to me with regards to your inductions are quite the formalities. So getting to know the company and the technical stuff and what the company does and what the teams do and things that are all quite technical and important for your role and for what you're going to be doing in the position, which are all great. You know, we need that. But we also need something called hygiene factors. We also need to cover lots of the hygiene factors. In covering hygiene factors, they might be things like where the clocking machine is. So it could be if we clock in, clock out. Every day we expect them to do that. It's important that they do that. Perhaps their pay might be ran on the clock in, clock out times. We need to tell them where that machine is and how they do that. The last thing a newer person wants is to perhaps not be paid for their first week because they haven't clocked in all week, you know. And things like where the kitchen is or canteen. These are all things that a new starter would want to know on their first day, and to make them feel comfortable and make them feel secure. Because if you imagine, well, you can imagine because you have been new starters, but when you get somewhere, what's racing when you're on your way in the car on the way there, what's racing through your mind is, where am I going to eat my lunch? Where can I buy lunch? Is there a fridge? Can I put some, you know? Or where's the toilets? Where do I need, you know? How can I go to the toilet at any time? Or am I going to be given a pass to get, you know? Things like that. So it's really important to cover those fundamentals off, and arguably important to cover those off well before all the corporate stuff. Things like when payday is. We might not put that in. Sometimes it does go into contracts of employment, but quite often not. So we might want to tell them when payday is, when expenses cut off. So if we're expecting that somebody travels to 2 different sites that are in the area, and we're going to pay their expenses for it, and within that first week we want them to go a couple of times, and then they go again the next week, and then it gets to the end of the month and they haven't put in any expenses for their journeys, and then don't get paid for it on payday or whatever. So these are all hygiene factors that are really important, and I think, as I say, fundamentals that have to be covered off in the first instance. Would you agree? Yeah. And I think they're hygiene factors because they're considered nice to have. They're considered comforting factors, and kind of a bit of a, well, I know where the kitchen is, so I'm okay. I can go and get myself a drink if I need a bit of headspace, or I know where the toilet is, so I'm not going to be, you know, busting for the loo and wandering around asking, hoping that somebody will show me where, you know, and I'm lost. So, you know, I think good to bear in mind if you're ever involved within a recruitment process, or you're involved with introducing a new candidate, hit those points first, because you can guarantee that they're going to be the ones that they're dying to know. Yeah. They're not necessarily going to really want to know straight away what the company handbook looks like. Yeah. For example.